Awesome. So, welcome to, I'm not sure which meeting is it by the number, but above 10 for sure. Just before we start, so this is the NixOS marketing meeting. We haven't done it and recorded in a month almost, like I think it's 4 weeks, but we weren't resting so far. For everybody here, bring your ideas, even the crazy ones. We need to get out of our comfort zone and discuss them. And once we're done discussing, then we need to work on it. So today, if you all see my screen, please add in the attending list. We have a new member to the NixOS marketing team. So I'll give the word to Tom to introduce yourself shortly for everybody.
Hi, everyone. I'm Tom, usually Tom Breck in all the various systems. I guess my interest is trying to figure out how to get more cooperation between a lot of the industry uses of Nix and NixOS. I have a particular interest in the usage of Nix in highly regulated areas, specifically things like government and defense, where there's a lot of control needed. There's a lot of understanding needed about like what's being deployed and where. And I think Nix has some interesting and useful attributes that can take advantage of that. And so one of the things I'm seeing is that sometimes companies kind of see their use of Nix as kind of like a secret weapon, and sometimes that limits the amount of sharing and kind of cooperative development. So I'd like to kind of break down those barriers, kind of make it more apparent of like who are the people using it and how we can start kind of solving some of the problems that kind of tend to be repeated over and over again between the various uses.
Awesome. I think this is it's not really a hard technical problem to solve, but it's really more of a social problem or documentation problem and so on. You came to the right place.
One example would be just to make it more well known of, yes, this is being used in industry. Yes, it is being used in these other locations. That's more of a like a PR type of a function.
I would just add one thing. You know that you're the only native English speaker now. So we will definitely use you for some weird wording that we use on the website, if that's okay. Awesome. So I'll just move, if this is okay with everybody. If you have any questions for Tom, just ask, shoot them. Otherwise, we can just go to the next topic. Sounds good? 1, 2, 3. Awesome. Next topic. So the first announcement I would just like to make is that I would like to thank you, TurboMac, for helping a lot with the NixOS search. I think this is more of a giving recognition because he was working tirelessly, like just improving different aspect of a search and contribution. Just scrolling into one of his latest PRs. And yeah, if there's anybody out there that wants to help and does not really want to contribute in discussion, it's completely fine. Not everybody wants to talk about the issues, but rather you want to work on certain stuff. That help is much, 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 much appreciated. Because these are kind of my announcement that I kind of opened. I'll just continue. Except if just stop me anywhere when you have a question or concern or anything. Otherwise I'll just go. The next one is the Terraform guide was added. Not really by us as a marketing team, but Doman Kojar. So he wrote the Terraform guide. It was merged, I think, yesterday, not sure. Today. And it's already on the website. If I go to the NixOS org, I think this kind of gives us the opportunity to consume the guides. So here it is, deploying NixOS using Terraform. I can see many. I think there is going to be like a range of the documentation coming from this, like, Nix and Kubernetes and so on. And we already have building and running Docker images, so everything just kind of works. We are improving. We're not doing it particularly fast, but we are improving in this area steadily. So thank you, Doman. Next thing is, this is more of a fun, but I'd like to show it, is we added a merge graphic to the donate page. This is one of the last things that the designer that we hired for the redesign did. So let me show you that as well. So this was also merged, I think, here today or yesterday evening. So there is a donate page. I really like the graphic. So this is the octopus holding all the merch around it, even in an NixOS t-shirt. I'm almost considering this should be our mascot, because Nix can be so many things, and then so yeah, that's it on this PR. So this is another announcement, and then another bigger thing that landed actually today. I think, when was it? 8 hours ago. We discussed this previously already, and the description on the landing page, what this whole NixOS.org is about, was changed. I'll show it in a second. And also 3 icons were added into the Why Nix section. So you probably already saw it, but this text, before it was kind of 2 columns, was added. Now, is this the best we can come up? So far, yes. And I think we can still improve a lot on it. And I think this is just a first step. So for everybody that's watching this, know that this website is fluid. We can always improve on it. But I'll just read it once aloud. So reproducible builds and deployments. Nix is a tool that makes a unique approach to package management and system configuration. Learn how to make reproducible, declarative, and reliable systems. And then there is a download and getting started image, and then we have these 3 graphics, kind of before it was without it. And I think it's like moving further with the website. And this, I think, was one of the last steps of the redesign. We'll talk about what's still missing from the design part. But yeah, that's on this front. Am I going too fast?
No.
No? Sounds good? Okay.
Perfect here.
Okay. This kind of announcement, I think they're just nice for anybody seeing, watching the video.
Well, there is an issue, but I'm going to open a comment in an issue about that the colors are not right for the icons on the main page.
Oh, awesome. We can even fix this ourselves, right? Without involving the designer.
Hopefully. If not, we have to make sure that we can the next time.
Yeah. I forgot, but you reminded me. I need to upload the graphics document that it was sent to me because we just collaborated directly. I collaborated directly with the designer. And okay. This, and yeah, the last thing. So I think we discussed all of this, and the one that's kind of being in the progress already for a month now is the features page, or what used to be a features page. And if I go, you can see it was quite big, and so the name changed from features to explore. I think this is so far the best name we could come up with. You will see later why. So if I click on it, this is what we kind of come up with. So it should be a way, instead of talking about the specific features, we actually want to talk about the benefits that features page will kind of give the users or able the users. So, and kind of make it, let's say, if you talk about complete dependencies, not everybody can connect complete dependency into always working development environment. And I think everybody will understand always working development environment much better. So these are the topics. Did we read them last time? Do you remember?
Well, in private with myself, because
we didn't record this, huh?
And we didn't have Elko either. It was more of a discussion that we had.
Yeah. Okay, so let's go at least briefly through them. There are only 7. And of course, we can always add, but I think we exposed always work in development environments kind of as the first one. Below it, at each item, we have this. We have the description. This is it shouldn't be that much technical at all, and there is even going a bit into details, maybe even sometimes highlighting certain things. In this case, it's but it works on my machine. So which also this talks about the portability of development environments. And just below this first description, we have the links of features. So sometimes it's actually, some people perceive features also as important in their understanding. And if you want to know something about complete dependencies, you can actually click on it. We need to kind of make it more obvious that these are the things you can click on. But you can then read about complete dependencies. And I'm going to come to this website just in a second. How does it look and how we can improve it. And then each of these elements of this, so to say, benefit comes with an image just to make the, to kind of put the emotional part into the whole experience of exploring Nix. So always work in development environment. One tool, many languages. I think this is, I think for us this is kind of obvious, but many will not understand that this can support all the languages. And even if we sometimes talk about the benefit of the same feature, it's actually much better than only talking once about one feature. So one tool, many languages. So these are all the polyglot environments. We have again the octopus here with all the flags of different languages. Continuous integration for free. I think the image kind of came from don't wait for the disaster, but prevent it. Text can be improved always, but I think it's from the existing NixOS features, which I'm going to show now. It's already an improvement, so we just move gradually each time. From 0 to cloud, I guess this deploying to cloud and even mentioning Docker images, it's a big thing. It's a benefit to show off. Is the previous version better? Roll back anytime. I'm not sure if everybody understands, but this is from where this car is, minus the logo. But it's kind of hope people will understand this graphic. Experiment without fear is another of the benefits we try to highlight. And then the contributing is only a pull request away. So we are on GitHub. It's easy to contribute. I think everything can be improved. So it's not the end result, but I think we're at the step where we can merge it. Any comments so far? Tom, you've foreseen this for the first time, I assume? Maybe give your opinion.
So I've used Nix for a long time, and so one of the problems I've had in getting people to these are a lot of the words and catchphrases and things I've used to try to kind of popularize this with others. But then when it comes to they say, all right, we'll give it a try, and then I actually want to do it. Then the big problem is, well, how do you do it? And then very often that requires a lot of domain-specific knowledge about exactly how Nix works, where all the right functions are, how it operates. So if each of these had a link over to very clear step-by-step, if you want X, here's how you do it, geared towards the beginner. That for the expert, right? There's all sorts of resources to find the information. But I think for the beginner, having examples for each of these would really help.
Oh yeah, definitely. I also think that, I mean, the beginners come from two different ways, from two different kinds, which is one to learn how this thing works, which is also one thing. But the more common thing will be like, oh, now you got me interested. What's the next step, right? And the next step is to actually give it a try. And I think currently we don't really have for all of this, we don't have the manual, the tutorials or even manuals. But yeah, there should be. I think, for example, for the Docker part, so they are like Docker images, and this actually links to the building and running Docker images, right? So there is a guide for this. But as I said, we need to make it more obvious. Like this could also just become a link as well to that manual. I'm highlighting on a share screen. Okay, Samuel, anything?
Nothing.
We discussed this already numerous times, right?
That's because we discussed it, but I don't really have anything. And you're going to hear some echo because, again, there's the wrong colors on the Lambda flakes, which I'm going to add as a comment to the PR. Awesome.
Let's fix this. I think I have this on my screen. I have the, how to say this, to protect the eyes, Redshift running, and I don't see the...
Okay. If you look closely at the rocket logo...
Yeah. I see. I disable it now.
This one is all right. The one on the rocket, two of the branches are... Now you've scrolled away. Two of the branches are darker than the other. This is a telltale sign that this is from the early import in Illustrator, which destroyed the gradients. And then I think the other is correct, but I'm not sure. So, I mean, This is a task. We need to verify that every color and Lambda uses are correct.
Okay, please create a ticket. I will meanwhile upload and we'll discuss it there. Awesome. Ilko, any comment on the rabbit, maybe? or on the octopus? I really like the octopus.
I really like that one too. I had a nitpick about the lion. So he's wearing a suit, which makes us look very corporate.
Which one?
The first one.
The first one? Ah, the lion.
Oh, actually, there was another one, I think.
Yeah, I think the same body was used, but just different. Okay, I'm not sure about all the animals. I think maybe we can all change them once in the octopus and just use it as a...
Maybe the one problem with the octopus is that it's kind of GitHub-like.
True. Yeah, I can see that. Maybe if we make it a polar or Arctic octopus, I think they exist. So they are a bit different, I think. Because of the snowflake logo, and yeah. I'm not sure, but yeah. We need to find our mascot in the next year or years to come. So Tom, if you have any ideas or like after showers, like, oh, this reminds me of Nix. Just make a note. Okay, I think this is kind of with this. I think it's fine if we just go and merge it and then improve those little bits. And one thing I wanted to mention, what's changed as well, is that all these links, well, not all of them, but some of them, which explain certain concepts in Nix, which is like complete dependencies, portable, language agnostic. We also need a bit deeper explanation of that. And if you will go, either if you click on this complete dependency, or if you go to the Learn page, there used to be 2 buttons only. I'm not gonna switch to NixOS org, how it's currently. So you see so this is the current example. So there are 2 buttons. Intention was to have actually 3 buttons, which is kind of highlight 3 things that most people will want to learn. One is how to install Nix. That's always a guide. First steps with Nix, which is how do you do your first development environment and get it up and running. And then how Nix works. And then when you click this how Nix works, this is what used to be a features page for now. You can see that it's hard to do the big rewrite all in one. So we will have to do in multiple steps. But I think it already gives us it gives us a list of what things we need to include there. And I think we can explain Nix much better. And we will have kind of guide that explains how Nix works. And we can even ignore the why Nix works this way, just explain the details. I hope to do this in the kind of iteratively until end of this milestone or this release cycle. Is this okay with everybody? It's something that you would do differently. Okay. I'll just assume everything is fine. I mean, we work in small steps.
I think Yoko raised his hand.
I think.
No, that's a strange thing. I don't know why that keeps happening.
Yeah. I think you used
it looks good to me.
Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. Let's focus this. While we edit, I guess we can do nice. Even David. Okay. I'll just go and merge it if that's fine, and we'll work on the rest afterwards. 1, 2. Here we go. Okay, so I think that was it for all the review of the work and what we've been working on. And now is just the planning part. Let's see how we're with time, 20-ish minutes. I think we can spend another few minutes on the planning. Supposedly we would have to do this already in the beginning of the starting of the, let's say because we work on these 6-month cycles, but as every proper company, we do this in the middle of a next cycle, right? Very corporative behavior from us. Okay, so this was merged. This was for the preview, and there we go. So I'll first go quickly through all the steps, all the items that we wanted to work in 2009, and I think I'll close them later on. But we said we're going to redesign the website. I think with just what we merged, this can be marked as complete. Yes, there are things that we want to work on. I think one most notably is we need to select the fonts correctly, but that's gonna be there is an issue already open for that. So
we need concrete steps instead of the vague redesign of the website, because most of it is done.
Exactly. So that's why I want to close it and just kind of move smaller things into and open them as part of the next roadmap. We changed how we talk about NixOS on the landing page. I think that was changed. Plus on how we talk on the features page, which is now features page, which is now explore page. So I would consider this to done. Of course, there's always room for improvement, right? More documentation. We added a section of tutorials and guides. I think this is very general. We just said like let's just add few. That was the intention. I think what needs to happen now, and I hope to focus more, is actually adding language-specific examples that people can actually interactively work. I have a ticket already prepared for that, and I hope to work on it in the next, but we'll talk this in the next roadmap. So I'm consider this kind of done. Find better examples. I think we for on the landing page, this is these are these examples that are being played in all of this. I think we still could, improve them a bit, but it's a good starting point already so far.
We also wanted more examples for the bottom part.
Yeah.
If I remember
think
correctly.
Yeah, we wanted to have like 12 of them, where the 3 important and 6 less important. Let's move this, and I think I have another example in mind, but I'm still missing them too to kind of align them nicely. So I'll find better examples to the next milestone. Add up-to-date Azure GCP images. I think this was just too big of a task, but it was done in a good spirit. I think this is going to be a bit too hard to do, and we need a lot of help from the infrastructure team in general.
Okay, Tom.
So on that one, like that's been something that I've had to kind of work with a little bit, sometimes just to bring to use up-to-date images, but also to put them into AWS GovCloud. And so that's something I've done a few times and can probably help with.
Oh, awesome. Because the problem here is, let's move it. If you're interested in working on this, I think we can move it to the next item to the next roadmap, so the next cycle, next plan. Because I think this is definitely something that will show up. Currently, we only list the EC2 images, the Amazon images, but I think we could easily do more. And having them up to date would actually be also a nice thing. But there is a different problem with pricing, because if you upload too much images, I think the price goes up something. We need to think about also the costs on that part.
Maybe we need to figure out ways to get contacts at those providers to maybe they have plans for actual distributions to work better with them.
Maybe that's also an interesting, yeah. Moving further, a community survey review. I think we said we're going to do it after the new year. I think David is going to work on it still. He said he's going to step away a bit from the marketing team to focus on other work. So we just postponed it a bit later. So we're definitely moving this to the new new milestone. This and the last 2 things were actually kind of wishful thinkings of me that I will have enough time to do it, but I'd like to be there a job section on the website where people could announce jobs, and also to have like a blog section or news section where we would aggregate all the news, because on the current website, sadly, all the news are hidden. For now, this was intentional until we bring this up, and I think this is one of the things I'd like to work on in the next cycle. So I guess only the first 3 can be marked as done. How do we do this? Mark as closed. Okay. And the rest, we can assign them. I think we said everything will be assigned to the next roadmap milestone. So 2103 roadmap. Okay. And this means...
I think there's just the EC2, Azure, and other cloud GCP issue that we might want to split into 3 distinct issues, that we don't block either of when one is fixed, because we also need expertise on each of those clouds. So
I agree.
Maybe we don't find someone that knows about GCP to help us.
Yeah, definitely agree. When I go to, do I need to close? Yeah, now I need to close this one. Okay, there we go. I won't mention the last, which we just went through, except if you have some certain questions, but I think I already moved few as we went that we need to do this. I think this one is the high priority, which I should fix. Somebody should fix as soon as possible, because there are 3 different commands to install Nix now. If you look through all the examples, or actually there is more, I think even. They are slightly different, but yeah, we need to agree on one. Might be a bit bigger discussion that needs to happen. Is there anything else you would like to work on? It's more of a question. What do you think should happen in until end of March? Also, the answer does not have to doesn't have to. You don't have to stick with it. It's more of a brainstorming. I'll just.
You mean until the sales roadmap, right?
Yeah, for more from your perspective, like what do you think you will be working on? If you say you want to work on something and then not work on, and you will not have time, also fine. It's just
it's more about implementation details stuff, but so I don't know if it's really goals that you want to add to this. But like we talked private last time, we need to somehow get the styles reusable so that the search NixOS org, the status NixOS org, and hopefully the mobile NixOS org sites share the same framework for the styles.
Definitely. Yeah, I think the next stop should be search nixos.org to use the same styles.
Most of the work is going... Well, in fact, search and status, since they both build on the same template, really,
exactly.
It should be the same. It should be done at the same time. So again, it's going to be mobilenixos.org that's going to need more work, but it's also based on pretty much the same base. So all of this is more about figuring out the better pattern to use to reuse.
Okay. I already talked about the status.nixos.org. I already talked with Graham briefly because he's the kind of the owner of the status. If you've seen, I want to move the status nixos.org to Netlify and kind of use the same workflow. So that means we will just create a new repository and do the same thing as we do with search and homepage. Okay. Okay, so we need to create tickets for those and assign them to this milestone. Okay. One of the things I want to also work on, but this might go, I hope to get it done by the end, is, or at least start to, and this might interest you, Tom, is I want to make Nix look, so with adding all these blog sections and job sections, it will raise the awareness of Nix being like a active community that you can kind of trust. And if you're interested, you can get in. There is a roadmap for you that you can join the community. But what I also want is to show a section on the like highly visible, where like success stories of Nix, where companies could do certain like short white papers on it, like a page or two long, of how they use Nix. And then I'm not sure how to rank this properly. So this is one part I want to work on. And another one is, so the hard part is because I need to contact all the companies that have been working on interesting things, and kind of, let's say, a nice example would be Shopify uses Nix in this and this way, right? And, they write it from their perspective. Or this company, I don't know, IOHK uses for this and this, and have a paper, like a short write-up about it. I think that might help. So this is one thing, and the other one is create a kind of in parallel with this, like a list of providers that, let's say, if you have a company and you want to invest in Nix, you want to also know that you're not alone. So if you get stuck, there should be somebody that you can ask for help. So, so that, let's say, you have, even if those are only, self-employed people, like just doing freelancing, completely fine. They should be equally kind of ranked against the rest. So we just need to do some kind of a randomization so that it's a bit fair on that website. So that was my thought, because I think we need to bring Nix is a cool project into, Nix is actually used in production, and kind of get this confirmation. It should feel that it's like, people are using this in production. Okay, I can use it too. I haven't opened tickets, I think, for this, but if you want to join the conversation and maybe help ask around the companies to provide their use cases, that might be awesome. Or if you have any other ideas that you want to put on the website, Tom.
There's some. I can't really speak for some of the companies, but I can reach out to them to see if they're interested in the case study white paper thing.
Yeah. That would be really helpful, I think. Okay.
Maybe one thing to mention, the Nix Flake search feature.
True.
That might be something to add to the roadmap.
Mm-hmm. Especially, especially if we can get it. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, if we can get it funded. I mean, well, we have funding, but we need somebody to do it.
Maybe we should post this as a job offer, because there is the funding. We know how. Yeah.
Right.
Let's create a ticket and maybe define what needs to be done. So we define the scope, and then there is a funding. We define the scope. Somebody should, and then we can write on the discourse if somebody wants to take it. But just for whoever's listening to the video, the Nix Flake search is, we want to extend the search.nixos.org to not only search inside, like this is kind of being future-proof, to not only search inside Nix packages, but also any other flake that is out there and that wants to be searched in, right? So you can opt in that, my flake, I want this to be part of the results on search.nixos.org. Did I say it correctly, Elko?
Yeah, although, I would guess it can actually be opt-out if people don't want to be searched, because, I mean, it's about public GitHub repositories.
Yeah. Definitely. I mean, we can talk about details. I think the kind of the policies we first at least need to implement so that we have two flakes that we search in.
There's an interesting thing that the Go community does, which is the godoc.org, where it automatically takes anything that is in GitHub as a Go project and just automatically generates the documentation for it.
Sorry, So Golang.
Yeah, so Golang does this thing where if you have a Git repo hosted somewhere that's compatible with kind of their underlying system, it will then fetch that and then generate the Go docs for you.
Oh,
yeah, I think that's what we want here as well. So once we have the nix doc command, which already exists on a branch, then we can just generate documentation for any flake and provide it somewhere, maybe on search.nixos.org or docs.nixos.org or whatever.
So I guess we can, right now we only search packages and options, but I hope we can add more sources even. So one would be definitely documentation of those flakes. And another one would be the website itself, because there will be some nice resources. And the other one is maybe even GitHub issues. It would be, in either case, it would be nice to have multiple sources. Well, on the side of the GitHub, it would be nice to have a backup of all the issues that we have there and pull requests and everything. That would be all the discussions. That's a valuable thing to have, but I don't think we have it. Yeah. Okay. Searching docs. Okay. Okay. I think that covers for this meeting. We did it in less than 40-ish minutes. And we see you in 2 weeks.
All right. Thank you.
See ya.
See ya.
Ciao.
Goodbye.